Yesterday, the Chicago Bears waived fifth-round pick Zay Frasier from the team after missing the entirety of 2025 for personal reasons, and after Dennis Allen was pretty glowing on him. We're going to talk about why the Chicago Bears may have decided to move on from him now, and there is a Malik Muhammad reason to that. We're going to talk a little bit about that, plus Ben Johnson's reaction to it, and we're going to dive into the mailbag. All that, plus the rookies that did sign their deal, plus the ones that are remaining, and more, right after this. What's going on, Bears fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bears Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. I'm the host there, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Chi Bears Central on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that said, let's go and get into this content for today, y'all. And the Chicago Bears yesterday waived Zay Frasier from the team. This is a former fifth-round pick, Zay Frasier. And when you look at it, he had an absence last year from the 2025 season, and he missed that for personal reasons. And while Dennis Allen has always been very glowing in regards to Zay Frasier and the potential to use Zay Frasier within his system, similar to ways they use Kyler Gordon, Chicago Bears decided to move on from this. And I do think comments from Ben Johnson, are very straightforward in why they felt the need to move on from Zay Frasier as well. And, sometimes that's just the way that the cookie crumbles, right? Like, not to say that Zay Frasier still doesn't have some potential around the league, and maybe there's a reunion at some point in time. We don't know. But the fact is that Zay Frasier was a fifth-round pick. And not to say there aren't some fifth-round picks that can absolutely stunt. Hell, we saw a seventh-round pick stand up for the Chicago Bears last year. But Ben Johnson's comments in regards to Zay Frasier's release said this. When you look at when we look at the roster, where he was at and where we are at, it was time to part ways. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it is, right? Like, there's so much that goes into a roster that if you feel like, whether a player's ready or not or whatever it is, and you feel like you're ready without that player, at some point in time, if a player has not made themselves, if they've made themselves expendable, that's the reality of it. Missing an entire season for personal reasons, it is what it is when it comes down to it, man. It looked like he was going to add some really good depth. Personal issues sidelined him for training camp and the regular season. And, of course, there was some optimism that they were going to be able to play him last season, but it is. Ben Johnson goes on to say this. We were hopeful, and it just wasn't going that direction. The trajectory was off, so we decided to go in a different direction. And when you look at it, the Chicago Bears drafted a cornerback this year. Malik Muhammad is here, and we're talking about him potentially taking the cornerback 2 spot from Tyrique Stevenson. But you also got Terell Smith making his return as well. Jaylon Jones is going to be competing for snaps when it comes down to it. So, overall, the Chicago Bears cornerback room, when fully healthy, is one of the most difficult groups to make in the entirety of definitely the NFC North, if not the NFL overall. Look, Jaylon Johnson, there. Tyrique Stevenson, there. Terell Smith, Jaylon Jones, Malik Muhammad. Like, you're talking about so much depth at a position, and it's an important position for Dennis Allen's scheme. And that was really the thing that, is most surprising about this. The number of defensive backs that Dennis Allen plays, it always leaves room for you to play more cornerbacks than what a normal team is going to play. And, Zay Frasier shaped up to be a backup nickel for Kyler Gordon pretty well. But, you saw it last year. Nashawn Wright came in, played. The Bears weren't able to hold on to him. I wonder if they would have maybe tried to hold on to him, especially the deal that he signed with, Zay Frasier now out. But that's just the reality of it. You got Blackwell in the building as well, Jaylon Jones, Jaylon Johnson. Like, the Bears have enough. You got Casey Izumumi, I believe is how you pronounce it as well, an undrafted free agent that talked very strongly about wanting to make the roster here and having something to show for this Chicago Bears team. As an undrafted free agent, he's trying to show, and he has a lot of speed and a potential as well to kind of bring in a lot of what Zay Frasier would have brought as well. He's 6'1", 198 pounds also. So, at the end of the day, with the Bears having the cornerback and the depth at the cornerback position that they have, that's it, right? And if Malik Muhammad is somebody that could eventually take that starting role, you got to ask yourself, now, would Tyrique Stevenson or Terell Smith, for that matter, be better put, in the role, especially with Tyrique Stevenson being better kind of in-zone coverage? So, you look at Izio Mume, I believe is how you pronounce it. He had 15 passes deflected over the course of his collegiate career, through 3 years. Didn't have a single interception, though, but this is a guy that can be used in a lot of different places as well. So, listen, at the end of the day, he's also can bring some special teams depth. So when you bring all that together, and what's going to happen here for the Chicago Bears team, it's going to get crazy in the defensive backfield. We're going to have a defensive backfield, I think, that is really reflective of exactly how Dennis Allen likes to use his defensive backs. And unfortunately, Zay Frasier, a player that we kind of all saw the potential in, that's gone now. And he's going to have to show and prove. And, much like other people, but don't overlook, too, the ability to use Elijah Hicks in creative ways also. So, this team is going to have a lot of players there. And, Zay Frasier it did not work out for the Chicago Bears. And when Ben Johnson talks about a player and saying that they hoped and things like that, and it just didn't go that way, I think you have to take that at face value for what it is, and, hopefully Zay Frasier can, because he's talented. And he does seem like a player that is an NFL player, but hopefully those personal reasons or whatever's going on there gets solved and rectified, and Zay Frasier can get on the field for a football team. And, we'll see what's going to happen there. So, he never got to play a game. We're talking about not even a preseason game or regular season or training camp. He never got to really do anything on the field for the Chicago Bears outside of offseason workouts. So, at the end of the day now, Zay Frasier gets to move on. A team's going to pick him up. I wouldn't even be surprised if a team picks him up off waivers. Team's going to pick him up, and, he's going to have another opportunity. But hopefully whatever's going on with him, he gets that together so that he can get on the football field and make an impact for the Chicago Bears. But the Chicago Bears also announced the signing of 4 of their draft picks: Zavion Thomas, Malik Muhammad, Keyshawn Elliott, the linebacker, and defensive tackle Jordan Vandenberg, all signed ahead of the rookie minicamp. So all 4 of those guys signed on this team. And we talked about what it means for them before. Zavion Thomas, with the speed that he has, the 4.2 40 speed that he has, more than just a gadget player. I'm going to keep reminding you guys of that. He's more than just a gadget player. He's going to be in there. He's going to come in and try to compete with Khalif Raymond, Jahade Walker, to get snaps at that wide receiver position right away. Malik Muhammad, who we just talked about, a 4th-round pick himself, who is the latest addition to Dennis Allen's scheme, a guy that ran a 4.4 40, as well the physicality that he brings. This guy's been shutting down, collegiate wide receivers his whole entire career there. And so now he's going to have an opportunity to win a starting job as a rookie, which could be part of the reason why they felt comfortable, especially with where the team is. Keyshawn Elliott as well was selected in the 5th round into the linebacker room. That's adding depth there, especially with Noah Sewell. We don't know what's going to happen with him at the start of the season. TJ Edwards commits to start of preseason, maybe even a couple of weeks at the start of the season. With the injury he ended his season on, gets added to that linebacker room with DeMarco Jackson and Devin Bush. He's going to have an opportunity as well. This guy also, he may make an impact on special teams for Richard Hightower right away, rather than make a big impact in the linebacker room with the veterans there. But we'll see. Don't count him out either. And then Jordan Vandenberg, the 6th-round selection at the defensive tackle position. And this is a guy that's from South Africa who's a great fit for Dennis Allen's system. So that means that Dylan Thieneman, Logan Jones, and Sam Roush remain the only Chicago Bears rookies who have not signed yet. And if I had to speculate, again, this is just speculation. If I had to speculate on it, I would say that it's probably because of guaranteed money. Those guys, with where they were drafted at, are probably looking for some guarantees as far as money-wise when it comes down to it. And, we'll see what's going to happen in regards to that. I think overall, they're all going to get signed. I'm not too worried about it. We saw this last year happen with a number of our rookies last year, namely Luther Burden. Those guys were signed by the time preseason started, and it's going to all be there as well. We also got the numbers announced for those guys. Thieneman will wear number 31. Logan Jones will wear number 54. Roush will wear number 87. And then you have Zavion Thomas. He's going to be wearing number 8 as well. Malik Muhammad is going to be wearing number 24 for the Chicago Bears, and Keyshawn Elliott is going to be wearing number 49. Oh, Vandenberg as well is going to be wearing number 96. So that's what it's going to be for the Chicago Bears and these rookies, and we'll see what the future holds for these guys. Overall, I'll just say this, go out and get it done. This is an opportunity. The thing that I love that we can say for a fact, right, is that if these rookies come in and they show up ready, they're going to get an opportunity to play. There are no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They are going to get an opportunity to play for this Chicago Bears team. The question just becomes about how ready do they show themselves? How ready and comfortable do they feel? Do they make this coaching staff feel in them? It's up to the coaching staff to have them ready as well. But do not be surprised if, much like a lot last year, we start talking about 3-4 rookies making big impacts in year one for the Chicago Bears. And what that means for the future of them on this team is going to be great there as well. Now, last thing before we get into the mailbag, Mayor Brandon Johnson talks about the attempt to block the Chicago Bears in the stadium when it comes down to it. He said this: if we're asking anyone to tighten the belt, we should look at whose belt is exploding, and that's the ultra rich. As their bellies get fat and our people are starving, this is not a time to balance the budget off the backs of working people. The type of tax structure that would set up for large corporations and billionaires without a clear pathway to provide certainty as well as equity for everyday working people, I believe that's a mismatch there. And quite frankly, the infrastructure they're even discussing in the suburbs, those infrastructure needs haven't been present on the lakefront for a very long time. Hey, so here's what it comes, right? I get it that Chicago and Illinois is trying to do everything they can to keep the Chicago Bears here. And we'll see where the home stadium ends up being. Hopefully an announcement's made on that sooner rather than later so we can keep it pushing in regards to it. But at the end of the day, we'll see. The Chicago Bears have been looking for tax breaks. Now it seems like, there are some people that are blasting what's happening there to get them those tax breaks. And we'll see what's going to happen, whether they move to Indiana or, Arlington Heights, whatever it is. Let's see what's going to happen in regards to that. But looks like Mayor Johnson is trying to do his due diligence to get the Chicago Bears to stay in Chicago. Let's see if he gets successful in that one. With that said, though, let's move on. Let's get into the mailbag. We got 4 voicemails to get into. This one's from Jay Capone.
Hey, yo, what's up, man? You already know who it is, Mr. Jay Capone, a.k.a. Mr. Wheelchair John Morant, a.k.a. Mr. Funny Man, a.k.a. Mr. Everything. But anyway, man, I'm just sitting back, thinking about how lethal we finna be this season. Like, man, we finna have that annexation of Puerto Rico. We gonna have the annexation of Ben Johnson, for real. And, man, we got Press Taylor. We finna press on these niggas. We finna press on everybody. We finna score 50 points. And we finna blitz. We finna blitz. We finna blitz. We may not get as many turnovers as possible, but shoot, I'd rather have pressures and sacks than to have a boom or bust. Because last season if we didn't get turnovers, we were fooled. You feel me? And I feel like last year when we went against the Rams, if our defense was a little bit better, we would have won. If you really think about it, but man, trust Ben Johnson. He is the mad scientist that this city needs. Man, and all the weapons we got Xavier Thomas. Man, we could have a Wildcat with Luther Burden and Xavier Thomas. You feel me? Or a Luther Burden and Khalif Raymond Wildcat or something like that. And then, man, we got Jordan Vandenberg. I feel, man, everybody's sleeping on Javon Dexter. I mean, I know he got to improve on his get off and his run stopping, but the man had 6.5 sacks. Like, that's got to count for something. And you already know he's motivated because this is contract year. And I still believe in my man, Grady Jarrett. You feel me? But Dio Dambo needs to get on his shit because Austin Booker is going to take over. Austin Booker is coming for Jordan Love. Austin Booker is Jordan Love's father. Just like Io DeSumo is Trae Young's father. Yeah. Yeah, man. I'm going to get up out of here. We finna be great this year. Hey, Packers. Hey, beware. Everybody, beware. Chi-Town up, bear down. Yup.
First of all, averaging 50 points per game would be wild, my boy. That'd be crazy to see. But I do think you hit on something, right? The pressure, right? The Chicago Bears, we'll see how many sacks they can get. But I do think this is going to be a team that through the speed they add, through a healthy defensive backfield as well with your cornerbacks, you're going to see us put a lot of pressure on quarterbacks. But hopefully with Austin Booker, him being healthy, Montez Sweat can stay healthy as well. Hopefully we have 2 edges that can get 10 sacks, just that. That's 20 sacks between 2 people. Hopefully we can get that. And this is a team that can have more towards 40, 45 sacks this year, if not more in regards to that. So we're going to see, right? I think when you look at the number of ways that Dennis Allen can scheme the cornerbacks here and the safeties for that matter, we're going to find ways to put more pressure on quarterbacks. The question is, how much can we get home? And that's going to be the fun part to watch as it develops over the season and see what the Chicago Bears can do in that case. But let's hope that we see it. All right, let's get into this next voicemail, man. This one's from Tonio.
Hey, it's Bobby C. Dub. It's Tonio calling in, and just wanted to get my thoughts on the Zay Frasier cut. I get it, sometimes people don't work out, but hey, the one thing about it that we've seen time and time again is that this team is going to find a way with the depth signings, and we have Casey Eziomune. I recently saw an interview. Um, he's a dog. He wants to compete. Also, he's a similar. Measurables, 4.35, 40. I know that, I mean, he's fast, 6'3", give or take. He's also younger than Zay. So, what do you guys think? Does he have a chance to potentially, inherit that spot that Zay would have had? I mean, he has to earn it, but, what do you think? Who's some of the other players you think have a potential chance to inherit, or earn more burn on the playing field this season, especially with some of the other players getting drafted or some of the depth signs that we have. Other than that, start town up, go down.
I think Malik Muhammad did make Zay Frasier expendable to a degree, right? Not to say that they're going to play the same roles, but when you have somebody that projects to have some shutdown corner ability, it changes a lot. You already got your nickel locked in Zay Frasier, and then now Tyrique Stevenson, Terell Smith, those guys can possibly be put in a situation where you can maximize on their strengths while mitigating some of their weaknesses. Because it's the reason why neither one of them were ever a permanent starting CB2, right? They always kind of share that role. So let's see what the Bears do in regards to that, man. I think, the cornerback rotation is going to be very, very deep this year, as I said in the opening segment. And, are we going to look back and say, hey, Dan, what was Zay Frasier looked in this? Maybe. But I would say this, there's also just as high of a possibility that we go through the season and nobody even thinks about Zay Frasier. Because then again, he never took the field for the Chicago Bears. And no knock on him. I don't mean that to knock him at all. That's just the reality of the situation. Hey, things happen. Let's get into this next voicemail, man. This one's from Darius.
What's going on, guys? Darius from Dallas, man. The more and more that I look at these draft picks that we had, man, the better that I feel about it. And the more impressed I am with the way, just the whole way that it went about. Because when you really look at it, man, like our first 4 picks or so all have potential to be like contributors and also starters. Like, let's just be real, man. We got the best center in the draft. Let's just start with him. I don't see a scenario where Bradbury can go out there and look subpar and still be starting by week 6. Like, if Bradbury wants to keep that position, he's going to have to not only outperform, what the hell the kid's name is, Logan, in training camp. He's going to have to sustain a high level of play, or I think he'll get snatched, because I think that this kid is a natural Pro Bowl caliber center. And nobody can deny that. You look at Xavier Thomas, and Haize was talking about it a little bit today, on the episode today you dropped out. I think that he's going to be used the same way that Ben Johnson used to use Jamison Williams, that Ohio State kid, I think, in Detroit, where, yeah, he did a lot of, down the field stuff, but he also was doing jet sweeps. He utilized the hell out of that kid. And I think he's going to be a weapon for us, man, and it just makes our wide receiver room, deeper. And he's got the potential to come in and steal reps. Rome Odunze has not done enough to automatically label him as our number 1 wide receiver. Just flat out hasn't. Every position is up for grabs, if you ask me. You look at the Sam Roush. Everybody was pissed off about that one, but man, hey, Sam Roush is going to unlock Colston Loveland. Colston Loveland ain't got to worry about them blocking assignments that much no more. So when we're in 13 personnel, it's really like we have 3 wide receivers out there, and we can run out of that. Also, Sam Roush, he's not bad at route running. He's not just like how Dylan, Smythe was, where he's just, blocking and that's it. No, man, this guy can contribute. So we might not be completely happy with the draft picks, but we cannot deny that all these guys have the potential to be playmakers and starters in the future, man. But let me know what y'all think. Texas up, bear down.
the confidence in the Chicago Bears draft class, it wanes from some people, but I'm glad that you have some confidence. I've taken this approach. Like I said this when I looked at this draft, right? The Bears drafted players that have talent. That's all you can do, right? I get it that people not going after position need or whatever, but if these guys end up working out and shaking out for the Bears, that's the most important thing. And, we'll see what happens with Austin Booker in the pass rush and stuff like this, but I think that I don't know if everybody in this rookie class is going to play in year one, but I tell you what, there's a lot of people in this class that can make an impact in year one for the Chicago Bears. And I've said this, I've learned to never count anything out. These guys can come in here, they can be hungry, they can be fierce, and they can end up pushing this Bears team exactly where they needed to. And Vandenberg, especially, we'll see what he does, because that speed that he has there, that's something that can really do a lot for the Chicago Bears team. And I don't think people should be overlooking his impact that he can make this year too. So let's see. All right, let's get into this next voicemail, the last one. This one's from Ja.
What's that shit do, my brother? It's your boy John from Arizona. I'm tapping in again. I'm at work once again listening to the boys get it in on the Chicago Bears system. Man, I'll fuck with y'all tough again. I appreciate y'all. Y'all make every day a day that can day for a nigga at work. You know what I'm saying? Type shit. But yeah, let me get to it. I want to say that, man, like Haize, I was watching the show and I heard you say you went and did your little research. I did the same thing, Haize. So you know what? I had too many fucking questions. I was just like, you know what? Let me let this brother cook. But my notes, I got to know what's in the cooking. I got to know the recipes and shit. So I went and started looking at, the season book or the recipe book to see what he had thinking. And let me tell you, out of all the research I done, because I went and looked at all the players that we didn't draft in, and I'll tell y'all what, I got a change of heart. I got two new favorite draft picks that was started off to me as questionable as hell, like the Sam Rouse and the Jaylon Thomas. I'm like, all right, I mean, I get the Jaylon Thomas one, but I was just wondering, like, what the fuck is we doing? Why would we, take the tight end? But, bro, go look at that tight end. Go look at Sam Rouse. Bulldozer. I'm talking about tractor. This man is an ox. I'm talking, not the tail, he the whole ox. He moving shit out the fucking way. The man can catch, the man can run. Hey, that's he like a heavier Colston Loveland, but he ain't as fast. But he like the mid ground between Colston Loveland and Cole Kmet. It's we got the best of everything right down in the tight end room. The best of fucking everything. And as far as Jaylon Thomas go, whoa! Hey, bro, that nigga right there, bro. I was watching his tape at LSU when he was going against man cooking him. I'm talking about fried chicken. I'm talking about fried fish from Remus, Sarks and shit. This nigga is crispy. This nigga was he was breaking that nigga ankles. Separation is crazy. The 4-2 speed pops off on tape. I can't wait to get a hold of him. I ain't gonna take up too much of y'all time. I know y'all gotta do what the fuck you do on Chicago Bears Central. I just wanna know I appreciate y'all and what y'all think about my take. What y'all think about the two new Bears? Sam and my man, Jaylon Thomas. Y'all let me know. Chicago up and bear down, baby.
I keep telling people, Sam Roush isn't just a blocking tight end. I keep telling people, Jaylon Thomas isn't just a gadget player, right? These players have some legit talent and skills. And like you said, with Sam Roush, he's a mix of both worlds, right? He can catch passes. He can be a blocker, right? I think what that's going to do for 13 personnel this year is going to be really fun to watch. I think overall, Ben Johnson has everything he needs schematically to make it work. As far as Jaylon Thomas, listen, Jaylon Thomas is a guy that as I watch more tape on him, like you said, I really love this kid's motor. I love it. He just got to go out there and prove that he can hold on to the ball, make those things happen, not to be just a gadget player as well. And if those things happen, I think Bears fans are going to be really happy with this draft class. And these are two players that absolutely, they have scheme fits, they have positional fits. Now, they may have not been needs, right? But I do think if these guys work out, man, it's going to be good for this Bears team this year. We just got to see if it's going to actually come out in the way that we think, that I think you think it is, and we'll see what the future does hold for this team overall, man. But let me know what you guys think on that all down below. With that said, man, Zay Frasier may not be the biggest headline on paper, right? But I do think it tells us something important about this team. There's confidence in this cornerback room, and if they can stay healthy, I think the sky's the limit really for how Dennis Allen's going to use those guys. These rookies are coming in all with the doors wide open. It's up to them to find a way to make an impact in whatever they're called and asked to do. And let's hope that they can do that in year one. So let me ask this to you guys. Do you think the Bears made the right move in releasing Zay Frasier? Can Malik Muhammad push for the starting cornerback role as a rookie? And then which rookie, outside of Dylan Thieneman, because I think that's the easy answer, are you most excited to watch when this season, preseason starts and those type of things. Drop your thoughts in the comment section down below. Hit that like button, man. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss an episode as well. Hit that notification bell. You guys can follow us at Shy Bear Central on every social media platform. You send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, ChicagoBearsCentral@gmail.com. And lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-242-9336. We are the #1 spot for everything Chicago Bears related, but that's thanks to you, lovely and beautiful people. And like I like to end every episode on, Chi-Town up, but Bear down. Love you guys. Peace, y'all.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.